Hello everyone, how's it going? Must be feeling pretty good, eh? Tottenham continuing on their winning streak, having collected some good wins in the Premier League and then the Champions League and now the Carabao Cup. Thomas Frank can't really do much more, can he, to be fair? So yeah, I know performances-wise, I guess the Villarreal one wasn't the greatest. We know that. We've kind of talked about that already. But of course, we will take it. It's first game in the Champions League, sort of league stage, and so good to get off to a winning start and so on. And of course, now into the Carabao Cup after a difficult match against Brighton. We know they are a difficult team to beat. They are not a newly promoted weak team, that's got limited resources. This is a club that's holding its own across the board, making plenty of decent signings and progressing really, really well. So a whole different sort of kettle of fish there. So to come back from 2-0 down after dominating the game felt like a win rather than a draw. And then of course then we go off to the potential banana skin. That is Doncaster Rovers in the Carabao Cup. Last year we started off very difficult against Coventry and got the win. And this was kind of the same. I thought, to be fair, you've got to be absolutely clear from a Doncaster point of view. I thought they played really, really well. They wasn't a lump it and see type club, not sort of clattering sort of fouls or that kind of stuff. They tried to play the ball. They did go long a little bit, but then so did we. But certainly in the second half, I thought they had a really good game, played really well. Lots of really good intricate passing, making good space for themselves and really giving themselves a good showing and did themselves some favours. I think they gained a lot of fans by their persistence and their performance. They didn't give up at all, and I thought real credit to them at 2-0. It still felt like the game could turn. Tottenham of old have collapsed at sort of bigger places than that, so you can never feel really strong in your commitment that we can win this game when it's coming across that way. But overall, I thought we played well. Of course, Frank had to make lots and lots of changes to this team, and we saw that Pedro Porro coming in as the captain. Good one for him. Good to see him getting some recognition because he's played pretty much every game. Touch wood, he's remained not injured and worked really, really hard for the team. It's good to get a little bit of recognition in for him, leading the team out. Matisse Tell up front, and Xavi getting moved to a centre position. And of course then we had Odebert out on the left and Johnson out on the right. Little bit of confusion for me when I first saw the lineup, because I saw Polinia and I saw Gray, and I couldn't see anybody else in there that was going to partner with Danso, who was another one coming in. And so I was a bit surprised when I saw that Frank had moved Polinia into centre-back role and Gray into centre-mid. I think he has said that he sees Gray as a more midfield player, and that's what he kind of wants from him. So I suppose it made sense for him to kind of go into that position. But Polinia has been really key for us. He's been one of our best players, and I know there's a little bit of a call out about his passing range and so on. But in terms of his absolute impact on the game, I don't think that can be understated. I think he's done an amazing job and been a real focus. So of course, when he then dropped him into centre back, I was a bit like, really? Is that all we've got for centre back? And of course you think, well, Kota Takai is out injured, coming back. Ben Davies is out injured, coming back. Then you've got Radu Dragushin, who's obviously coming back from a long-term injury. All in that mix, and then you want to give Van der Ven and Romero a bit of a break. So, kind of felt like, well, okay, needs must. I'd be interested to whether we've got anybody in the under 21s who maybe could have come in or whatever. But I thought, to be clear, in the end, Paulinho did okay. We didn't concede any goals, and maybe this was the game where you could try that as an option. And of course, we see that Paulinho scores our first goal in the game. A great goal as well. Another one from a set piece, although that didn't go particularly to plan. But his perseverance, and he was being held back initially, and he kind of pulled away. I think he watched the ball come over and thought, hey, I can do something here. So he attempts an overhead kick. Now, that could have gone horribly wrong, couldn't it? And made him look a complete nana. But it didn't. And keeper was out in no man's land, and he hooks it back in to get that first goal and get a really, really good goal. It was great to see, great for him. It meant a lot. And given that, as I said, he's been one of our better players, that was absolutely what we needed. So yeah, really good to get that goal in, settle the nerves down a little bit, and of course, straight after that we get the own goal. Some great work from Odebear on the left hand side, really running at their defence, fizzes a ball in, and the defender can't get himself out of the way of that, and that's it, 2-0, and pretty much the game was done after that. Like I say, credit to Doncaster, who kept on going, kept on working, kept on trying to get back into the game, and they caused a few kind of worry moments. A great save by Kinski to keep us in the game. Who, bearing in mind he had pretty much nothing to do for the whole game, but was able to get himself down and make an important save, because that would have been a goal that would have brought them back to 2-1. Would have then started the nerves a jangling, I'm guessing, certainly from a fan's point of view, if not the players, because the players do feel a little bit more, their mindset seems a little bit more solid. So yeah, it was another good save from that, and that's all he needed to do in that game, pretty much. Yeah, I have to also give out a bit of a mention to Johnson, who has been kind of the poster boy for the fans that are not particularly happy, that are always looking for someone to kind of have a go at. But I thought this was, and for good, let's be clear, for some good reasons, right? I mean, he's, without his goal contributions in terms of scoring, he disappears a lot of the time. And that's been the call out, that actually when Kudus has come in, you can see the difference in terms of crosses and running at defenders and all the rest of it, stuff that Johnson hasn't been doing. But then Kudus hasn't put the ball in the back of net yet. So you kind of, you have to have those options around. And that's why I think Frank is important, in terms of being able to change the way he plays, change what he does, bring in a player who can do something slightly different that makes a difference, and so on. So yeah, fair play. I thought Johnson had a really good game. His crossing was good. His attack mindedness was good. He was going at the players and stuff. And again, I know this is Doncaster Rovers, but it just felt like he had a little bit more freedom to have a go at it. And of course, he gets a goal at the end of the game to make it 3-0 and make it look, really respectable scoreline. Took it well, running at the defender, kept his head cool as a cucumber, popped it in there, and it was excellent to see. And coming on from the fact that he did put a couple of really good balls into the box, and unfortunately today's whipping boy is Matisse Tell, who had a couple of really, really gilt-edged chances, messed them up. Certainly one of them from a ball from Johnson that we whipped in, we really should have put that away. And a player with confidence would have smashed it in or tapped it in or backheeled it in or something. With a player who's struggling a little bit, just doesn't seem to be working. And of course, he's the butt of all the concerns at this moment in time. But as I've said previously, this is a 20-year-old kid who is coming from a different league, trying to learn his role and trying to fit in with this team, where all being not a first team starter and so on, so being on the fringes. So, I'm not ready to give up on him yet. I know some fans are, and that's their privilege. I'm not quite ready for that as it stands, so I'm prepared to kind of give him some time. And I trust that Frank is teaching him and coaching him and so on, because he seems to believe in him, seems to believe that he's getting himself in the right positions, getting the right runs and so on, and therefore it will come good. And sometimes it just does. I thought, like I say, in terms of his work rate and his effort, I don't think you can fault it. He was all over the pitch, chasing the balls down, a little bit like Solanke does, chasing the balls down, working hard for the team, dropping into midfield and kind of clearing up as well. I thought, in terms of his overall play, I thought he did okay. In terms of his goal scoring, that's the issue, and he's gonna get pelters until he gets that right. So fingers crossed that comes together, at some point. Good as well to see Luca Williams-Barnett, I think his name is, who got his debut and becomes number 900 on the legacy list. I was wondering how that was going to go after Kolo Muani got 899. I was thinking, maybe it'll be interesting to see who gets 900. But yeah, good to see one of our young players getting that, 16 years of age. Imagine that, getting on the pitch and playing in a Carabao Cup game like that. I mean, he's literally the same age as my eldest grandson. So yeah, he's interesting times when you're seeing players of that age, playing football at that level. Again, albeit against Doncaster Rovers, but good to see him get on the pitch as a bit of a reward for his good form for the under 21s and so on. So yeah, good to see him coming through. So overall, you've got to be happy with that. The difficult thing now, of course, when you see the next round, of course, who do we get? Newcastle. Gonna be another tough one. Not a great place to go. We don't have a great record. They've thumped us a few times there, but this is a different Tottenham now. This is Tottenham under Frank. We're not giving away lots of goals, giving ourselves a good defensive basis to work on. When you're playing against Newcastle, we will have the likes of Van der Ven back. You will have the likes of Coutinho Romero back, and of course, Polina back into midfield. Xavi with his quality in there, maybe Sarr coming back in, and Kudus, and by this time potentially you've got Solanke back, who is back training, as is Dragushin, who's training, as is Kota Takai training. So some of our injured players are coming back, and it kind of only leaves really Kulusevski and Maddison as the main ones that are way off. But some good news about Kulu maybe being back before the end of the year. Not looking to put a timeline on it, but potentially back before the end of the year. And he's out sort of starting his reintegration with the squad. So that's good news. So things feeling rather positive at the moment. Like I say, only 3 goals conceded so far this year, 2 against Brighton. I think so. Yeah, so feeling pretty positive. Scored a fair few goals along the way. So yeah, we'll see. I'm actually away from Monday. There'll be a review on Saturday, going up to the game against Wolves. So I'll be about. If anyone sees me and wants to say hello, I'll be about. I'll be in the Gilpin, probably into LTs, and then around in the South Stand. So if you see me there and you want to say hello, please do feel free to. So we'll do a review after the game there. But then I'm away on Monday, so maybe a bit difficult to see the Wednesday game. and the following weekend. But we'll see. If I can see it, then I'll review it. Let's see if there is a Tottenham supporters club in Cairo, somewhere where I can go and watch the game. But yeah, interesting times ahead. So anyway, I'll be in Cairo after the weekend. So if there's anybody who's watching these videos that's actually in Cairo, you might even see me there. Say hello to me there. I doubt it. But yeah, thanks for watching. As always, I do appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one. And keep the faith. Up the Spurs.